Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing buying in Lagos, red flags that you should look out for, and how you're just about to know that you're about to make a mistake buying that property in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're new to my channel, I recently acquired another property in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm using this platform to teach people so that they do not make mistakes. Some of these mistakes I've made in the past, and I'm like, I want to make sure that my people don't make that mistake. So yeah, grab your pen and paper because I myself have written out these things for you guys because I don't want to miss out on anything. The first one is lack of proper documentation. Yeah. A lot of people do not perfect their documentations when they buy a property. So when you're now trying to buy it from them, you notice that it's saying that this house belongs to this person, but when he passed, he didn't rightfully hand over. So the family, they're still talking about it. Or you see some lands that still have like land dispute. In fact, if they don't have proper documentation, if you speak to your lawyer and the lawyer is saying they must give you your deeds, they must give you your deeds, and the person you're talking to, the agent or the lawyer or whatever that you're talking to is not able to provide this document, please run, don't risk it. And the next one is unclear ownership, which is a bit different from proper documentation, right? They might have a proper documentation, but the owner is not clear, meaning middleman. The person trying to sell it to you, his name is not on the document, right? So it's a bit everywhere, you're not sure. And I'm just going to give you like an example because I've actually encountered this same thing before. So most times, right, when people talk about real estate is broad. You buy a land and you need money to develop the land. So you've bought this whole acres of land now and you want to make it into an estate. You now get a developer. If you have money, you pay them, they do it. If not, the developers will now go and source for funds or put their own funds, right? Now, making them also, depends on the agreements you have with them. Then when that is done, they now start selling it off. So they sell it to someone else. So let's say they're selling, let's say it's developed by, the land is bought by Zenith Properties, and then it is developed by Frank Limited, and now they have sold one of the land to Kene Properties, and you're trying to buy from Kene. So you're seeing the document is probably having Kene's name and Zenith. So you're like, oh, but I thought Frank is supposed to be somewhere there. But so the lawyer is in a better position to explain to you how it's supposed to work. Like in my case, that was literally what happened. So the main people, which is like the Zenith Property, by the way, these names are made up, by the way. So like the Zenith Property has to, when you're about to pay, you need to ensure that the Zenith Property will clarify that the land or the portion that they are selling to you is actually the one that was located to the Kene people. And then when that is done, so like there's a whole exchange. So when people try to cut off the legal part of buying a property, especially here where like things can go crazy when it comes to properties, I literally used to be like, if I want to give you one advice I must give is that make sure that a legal personnel is there. And yeah, the next one is hidden fees. There are a lot of hidden fees in houses, especially when you're buying a house like in an estate. There are service charges. I've spoken about this several times. Most times people do not tell you the service charge involved. Yes, I'm going to make another video talk about how I regret buying my first house, and I'm like, watch out for that video. So there's a lot of service charge involved in that house. There's land use charge, there's everything. There's even like unpaid debt that people don't know. So always find out like, what is the hidden charge? This thing I'm paying, is it the only thing I need to pay, or is there something else? Or someone living there before, did someone like rack up a bill or something that they haven't paid? Is there like land issues that still needs to be paid? Again, documentation. So a few people will come to you and they are selling house, right? So they're telling you that, oh, this house costs 300 million. But what they're not telling you is that because they haven't done the documentation, that way the house, you now need to spend like extra 10 million to do the documentation. So the agents will just focus on telling you, most times the agents I've dealt with, they never have information on how much the documentation is. So you see sometimes they're marketing a place and they're saying documentation is already available, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean that because it's available, you're not paying for it. No, you will pay for it. You have to pay to do change of name and, all that. Like there's a whole thing. So it's important to know so that way you know what you are budgeting for before you get into it. So If they're not giving you, if they're just telling you no, that it's just this one, they're not telling you, they're not letting you see the management, they're not letting you, know the things that the hidden fees, then that's a huge red flag. You better like run. Another one is if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. This happens in properties. Because even if somebody is having like a distress sale, if it's too good to be true, somebody is telling you that you should come and buy a house, a condo in Banana Island for 50 million. It's too good to be true. Because even if that person is having any financial issues, they know that even if they go to bank, the bank will give them more than that. You know what I mean? So if it is too good to be true, it's too good to be true. If that deal sounds too good, hold up. Take your time. Tell them to give you all the details. And if you're not ready to give you all the details, please run. Another one is dealing with agents that don't have full information about the property. So there's something that they do in Nigeria. I don't know if they do this in other parts of the world, right? But if I want to sell this house now, I'll just give it to like 20 different agents. Every agent will have their own idea, but the main agent is like, if you're not dealing with maybe my own agent, even if I give it to only my own agent, right? So my own agent will go on their WhatsApp group and say, okay, this house is up for sale, or whoever is able to bring it. So everybody now starts hustling. So if the house is X amount, 2 naira, another person might go and tell you it's 4 naira or something like that. So be careful with the agent you're dealing with. Make sure that they have the full idea of, like, they're in charge of the properties, because sometimes this can really be a time wasting process. Imagine taking your time to do your research, everything, just for you to come back and find out that that place has been sold because the main agent has sold it and they haven't communicated to the other sub-agents that they gave it to. So this is really like a red flag when you're asking the agents questions and the agent doesn't know. Run. Now, another thing is, especially this one is really for off-plan. Know the developer. If you're able to, if you can do a research on the developer, know it. That's if you're buying it off plan. Literally off plan means that the house is not yet ready. Please do yourself a favor and know the developer so that you will know their reputation, right? It's very important. And even if the house is built, just ask for the developer. It will help you know the kind of things you will repair in that house. There's some developers that when they hand you a house, if you bought that house 18 million or 100 million, get ready to spend another 20 million redoing it because they will use the cheapest, the worst materials ever. But there are some developers that when they hand you a house, go to bed. Whatever you're paying for that house is what you want to pay, except you're just doing it up to fit your taste. So it's important to always ask. And if they're not willing to tell you who the developer is, that's another red flag. Yeah. Another one is incomplete, when the basic things that are supposed to come with the house, that they are incomplete. If anybody is telling you when you pay, we'll do it, run. The only way you can accept to this is the things you don't mind. So let's say they advertise that that house is coming with a washing machine. And at the time you go look for it, because there are some houses, there's this house I saw, it came with like a washing machine, which is rare in Nigeria. It's not, even my house came with a washing machine, TV, AC. You can check the video in the description. I spoke about everything. I think I did a tour on everything my house came with. But that is because the lady that sold it to me, already, she's not Nigerian, so she wanted her son to move to Nigeria, but then somehow he got a job and didn't move. So she was doing it up for him. So she was just like, okay, since it's new and I already have stuff in my house, there's no need of doing that. So it came with microwave, everything. That's not typically how a Nigerian house comes with. So when you're looking for a house, you see that they'll tell you furnished or unfurnished. So what some of them do as well is that they partner with interior design companies. I've seen quite a few. They will furnish a space, and if you don't want to get the place furnished, you can remove everything and they will take it out and sell it to you just like that. So my point is, if you're looking for a house and they say that, oh, the house is furnished, it comes with a washing machine, a microwave, and then you go there and realize that they haven't put the washing machine and the microwave, and you like the house so bad, it's something you can pay for. If they don't bring it, you count that as your loss. If they bring it, fine. But basic things like maybe they haven't finished, they haven't put the windows and things like that, just leave it for them. Tell them that they should finish it before you buy. It happened to me, like I walked into this house and I don't know why this agent kept convincing me, like they haven't even done basic after construction cleaning. And you're telling me that it is when I pay. No, like Nigeria is too stressful for me to start running around. They haven't finished, they haven't closed a lot of places, and they're like, don't worry, the moment you pay. I say I want a completed house. You're selling this as a completed house. You're selling the price of a completed house. You're not selling it the price of off plan. So how are you telling me now to pay, then you want to use my money and complete it? No, can get money somewhere, complete it, and then I'll move. So this also happens, like if you're moving to a place that, again, the house might be complete, but the basic things that need. So let's say you're moving to an estate and they haven't bought generator. I had another one that told me that if I pay today, the generator will come. It was so funny. I told the lady, don't worry, I've been there, done that. She said, Ma, the moment you pay, that look at the guy is saying now that the generator is on the way. I said, why does he have to wait for me to pay before the generator will be on the way? So it might not even be about your house. It might be things that are needed, like they haven't brought gen, they are supposed to fix a lift. I saw another one that it's like it's a flat, so they haven't done the lift, they're still working on it. They say when you pay, you do it. No. I can only do that if it is off plan. I'm going to talk about off plan in another video because off plan is cheaper, right? So hey, yeah, not that you're making me pay full amount, because when you eventually pay, trust me, and this is not coming from a bad place, it's just how we are. Nigeria is already too stressful for you to go and start chasing around, chasing people. So anything that you know that house is supposed to come with. But again, no one can say sometimes life is not black and white, sometimes in between. So let's say, for example, right, you really like this place so bad because, finding that perfect house that you want can also be difficult. So let's say you find a place that you really, really, really like, but some things are not in place, like maybe they haven't put they haven't fixed the windows and everything, but you really like it. Now, the option you can go for is to get your lawyer to include that in the document, in the contract, that okay, as you're paying for this thing, that this is how the house will come and this is when the house will come, and if it doesn't come, this is the compensation. That's when you can do it. In fact, you can even do this during, like, even when you're renting. If you see a place that you like and the landlord is saying, oh yes, we'll fix this, that. Because some people genuinely, they don't have money. They get on a project and then something happens and they get stuck because they don't have money. So they need your money to complete it. So if you're really willing to go that route, what I can also advise is that you get the lawyer. I'm also going to put my lawyer details on the description. By the way, the consultation is free to a large extent. This is what my lawyer is doing for us. So please, if you contact my lawyer, just say it's from Sarah Donald podcast. She's going to, because most times you have to pay for consultation, and she's like, no, if you're coming from me, she's going to give you like consultation to a large extent, and then if you guys now want to go forward, you can talk about it. So yes, so what was I saying is that get a lawyer to advise, and again, knowing the company is also important, like their reputation, their track record of how they handle things, it's also important. So yes, you can document that, and that way you know that, okay, you're still getting it, because like I said, getting where you like can be quite tricky. Now, another one that is very important is unclear payment details. You see this a lot because people are running from tax and they want to give you personal account. No. They want to, so that they will not pay tax. Yeah. They want to probably, like, they always come up with this. It's crazy. I saw a house, I've discussed this, that I really liked. We had signed, we have put the offer, they agreed. It was time to make the payment. That was just what caused the issue. Now, they were giving me a personal account. And not just a personal account, like my name is Sarah, I'm selling something to you, so I'm giving you Sarah's account. No. They are giving me the lawyer's details, which is the management of the place. Now look at where I had the issues with, right? First of all, the lawyer's name is not mentioned in the property. So the owner needs to now send my lawyer. I don't know, I heard them talking, I didn't understand what it was, but basically my lawyer requested for something that would say that he has given this person permission to collect this on his behalf. That's one. Two, paying into a personal account, you can have issues with consumer protection, because if anything happens, consumer protection will not be able to recover that funds because you're dealing with a personal account. Now, this is my own experience. Even with Instagram vendors, I had to learn it. I had issues where people take my money and they don't do it. I contacted consumer protection and they ensured that the person refunded my money. Even when I was doing this house, I bought a fan and the lady called me later to say that I wasn't available. Okay, fine. Pay me back. Oh, 2 working days, 3 working days, 4 working days. They were delaying to pay back my money. Now, remember, this period was Christmas and they were doing sale. So I'm like, if you're taking time to refund my money, by the time the money comes, I've missed out on the sale, right? So once I was tired of contacting them, I contacted consumer protection immediately and they paid me my money that exact day. Now, if I paid into a personal, when I now had the similar issue but with a personal account, consumer protection now said I have to contact the authorities because like it's not a business, it doesn't fall within their whatever. So always ask for company account. It's safer. Even when you're dealing bank to bank, when you want to report a case in bank, fraud case, it is easier as well if it's easier if it's a business account, because most times in Nigeria, when you want to open a personal account, they'll ask you for your address, blah, 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 blah. Some people change it, but to open a company account, right? And I'm not talking with like all those maybe new generation banks. So because if you're going to be buying a house in Lagos, you're spending millions. So if you're going to be spending millions, you're not going to be paying it into one of these new banks, because those banks, they even have limits. I don't think you can even pay that kind of money there. Yeah. So if the person is giving you an account of like maybe one of these big banks, right? Before you open an account with them, they ask for a lot of things. Does that make sense? So if like before I opened my company account, they asked for so many things, tax clearance. I had to bring like people who also had corporate accounts. Now, why that is easier, that means it is easier for them to, will I say, catch or persecute, I don't know the right word to use, when you're dealing with a business account. It's easier to find the person than someone you just paid into their personal account that probably is not even in that address again because she opened it since and she has not updated her address. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I asked and I answered. So basically my point is, if the payment details are not clear, please don't go for it. If the payment details are not clear, don't go for it. Always use authorized. People that ask for cash, don't even go near there. Like, don't try it. Yeah, paying where there is also proper evidence to show. And example, if you're paying through somebody, make sure they put in the description. So let's say I'm trying to buy a house through somebody and the person's name is Ada or something like that, and maybe Ada is with my money. I want Ada to help me pay. In the description, Ada must put payment for Sarah's da, 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 da. If you can, please pay through so that it should show the money coming from you or from your account to the person's business account. But if, for example, someone is your money, or maybe you're a foreigner, because this video is also like, you can get to different people. You might not be in Nigeria, or you don't have a Nigeria account and you want to pay. That's fine. Make sure the person that is helping you make the payment puts it in the description, even if it's your brother, your blood brother, your sister. No, make sure that the description during that payment states the reason for the payment. Yeah, that's the red flags to look out for when you're trying to buy a house in Nigeria. But though a lot of things I said was because of my personal experience in Lagos, but trust me, when you listen very well to this video, you'll know that this thing applies to any part of Nigeria, right? To be honest, yeah. So thank you so much for watching. My name still remains Ldera.onyeachor, and if you have any question, please feel free to drop in the comment section. If you also have any experience that you'd like to share in terms of buying a house, maybe something you want people to be careful of, please share in the comment section and we'll be here to, chat. Thank you so much and stay blessed.